mass movement. He is our president. So
you are aware of the group.
For the masses.
yeah,
You are aware of the group.
What is your dispute?
I'm just asking whether you are aware of the group.
That's our president.
I do not care whether there is a new old or they are all groups that are for the progressive masses of this public.
Okay, so you are aware of the group.
What is your problem?
No, I just want to be sure.
Say, yes, the group exists. What's your problem?
But
yes.
we are not recruiting anyway.
Yes,
It's limited to myself and Raymond.
Yes.
I'm the spokesperson. He's the president.
And the
That's
progressives.
Yeah.
We cannot allow what they call it, any, unwanted forces.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into our Drive Safe campaign. I would address that issue shortly when we get to say it right. I'm just going to address that. But our Drive Safe campaign brought to us by Joy News and the Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Ghana Company Limited. Toyota, superior quality. So avoid all distractions, keep both eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel. Be visible, drive with your lights on, and that's how to drive safe. Let's now learn how to say it right. Brought to us by Koba Payment App. Koba, our lives simplified, and Kingdom Books at Kingdom. Quality and affordability is our hallmark.
Something must be done.
You say either.
So Samuel, talking about Raymond's views being your views, henceforth, I just hope you don't do a 180-degree turn.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
You know what that means? I just hope you do not change your mind. You know, sometimes you hear people say 360-degree turn, but 360 degrees turn will take you back to the same place. So the right phrase or idiom is 180 degree. It means you're going opposite direction, and that would mean a change of mind. So just so we learn how to say it right, but I just had to use your decision to represent the views of Raymond Akwa henceforth, and we'll be watching.
I endorse the geometry.
You know, so that's how you say it, right? That's how you say it, right? But talking about endorsing the geometry, you know, Siki Akono, when he was coach at 11 Wise, one of the players was not playing well, and you called him and said, "Eyes are watching. Eyes are watching."
What else was he watching?
You know, so eyes are watching how he's playing. So eyes are watching.
That's actually a direct translation.
Eyes are watching. Oh, that's translation. And that's how we do it in Ghana sometimes. But don't say that if you want to say it right. Let's get into the newspapers. Let's see what's making news this morning.
Find that it's reporting this morning. Siama protesters will be arrested. So on Friday, a couple of illegal miners who are arrested, I think they are in the 40s or so, who are arrested on the mining concession of Adamus Resources Limited. They were taken to court. When they were taken to court, young men from the constituency, the area, stormed the court. They then had an altercation with the police and other security people there, resulting in the death of one person. Now, they then later on moved to the police station. After this incident that happened between the men, the police, and the other security people, then went to the police station. The interesting part is that the IGP is reporting himself that they had vandalized the police station. He went there to check the status of the place and was worried about the destruction. And our IGP speaks in a very nice tone. He spoke nicely and calmly to the community and told the chiefs that no matter what happens, we have a CCTV. I didn't know that the police stations across the country have CCTV. That's a very good thing.
Well, there were talks of when ASP Ashinevi was killed, the vice president promised that we're going to install CCTV.
That's progressive.
So that's good. That's good. That
So they had
installed.
CCTV there, and they had captured people on the tape. They will come for the people and prosecute them, because the law is no respecter of persons, and that the law will go after anybody that decides to. It's that emboldened spirit that the person is engaging in illegal mining, yet you have the temerity to go and seek to not only support but vandalize because of the illegal miners being arrested. The member of parliament has been speaking. My only difficulty is what he's been saying is the part where he makes it look like, oh, I support the action of the people. I've not heard him condemn the act that the entire nation. It's because we are pretending to fight, Galamsey. Let's not get it wrong. We are pretending that this matter, we are dealing with it the way we ought to do it. But across the country, on the concessions of Goldfields, Newmont, and many of these mining institutions, illegal miners have virtually been emboldened by local politicians to do the things they are doing. Anyway, but the IGP says he will get to the bottom of it.
Raymond,
That's on the front page. Yes.
To ECG Gridco. For the
Okay.
past 2 weeks.
In your area?
No, residents in Elembele. And
Oh, okay. Oh.
They've not had lights.
Oh, seriously?
Yesterday we had a distress call from Elembele that for the past 2 weeks, They've not had light. They have complained to Gridco, and Gridco said they were working on some challenges, so they will resolve.
2 weeks is just a long time. Why? There should be something ultimately wrong. Well, anyway.
All right, so I have the daily guide with me. Nana Marcus Ghana in London. The president is in London, and the president Akufo-Addo is in London, UK, where he is expected to launch one of his government's flagship tourism drive projects, dubbed Destination Ghana, and hold bilateral discussions with the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. And we have NDC drag 6 MPs to Parliament. The story is on page 3 of the daily guide, and it is attributed to the Mr. Oseiche Mensah Bonsu, who is claiming that some MPs were brought.
Go ahead.
All right, so some MPs were brought into Parliament with infusions, and some were even sent to the minority speaker's office after the e-levy voting. So they brought them in to help them to, quash out or to help vote against the e-levy, but that did not happen. So that's what the majority leader
Isn't not your good friend, the minister who's been away for some time? We saw the ambulance in Parliament. It's been contentious whether or not he was actually present on the floor. But now present and voting is also a key matter in Parliament too, so clearly.
What are you referring to? Which friend of mine is that?
The Honorable Kojokum.
The chieftaincy minister.
Yes,
but unfortunately, the majority leader has not been able to name these MPs that were brought into Parliament with drips and infusions. That's
Let's get to the Chronicle, beloved, because Zechariah chapter 7, verse 9. Thus says the Lord of hosts, render true judgments, show kindness and mercy to one another. Thus says the Lord of hosts, render true judgments, show kindness and mercy to one another. Judgment day for a Japa deal. ECOWAS court set to rule on the case in July. You know, the ECOWAS court has been sitting in Ghana.
No, they say judgment day. It's almost like today.
But that's in July.
Yeah.
And also on the front.
AG was fined some amount of money
Yes,
for
yes.
not making an early representation.
Yes, and that should not be news to you.
Was the amount too small?
Oh, this is, you're looking at the economy.
The ECOWAS court is mindful of our economy.
Yeah. Ghana is safe for foreign investment. Herbert Krapper, who is Deputy Minister for Trade. Upon Nkrumah builds modern JHS for Ayubi, and commissioned that yesterday, and comes to the photograph of the JHS on the front page of the Chronicle, built by Kojo Upon Nkrumah, Information Minister and Member of Parliament for Fonsi Ayubi. Now, Ghana's automotive development policy is a masterpiece. That's according to John Alan Kwejo Tremanting. I think it was on first day that they, commissioned the Nissan plant, and at that particular ceremony, he talked about Ghana's plan being a very great one. We hope that, yes, it's important that we manufacture these vehicles, but while we manufacture these vehicles also, we must be thinking of our ability to purchase them. The government is talking about a finance plan that is going to be in place for the people. Must this finance plan be led by government? Our financial institutions should be championing that. Our financial institutions should be helping the masses to actually acquire these vehicles.
So the finance plan, would it be cheaper than the one we import?
Well, so that's a very good question.
Because, to the ordinary Ghanaian trying to make, it's difficult to run because we don't have effective public transport system. This country, you can't really run your schedule. We are always supposed to be way ahead of time or very late. So if you had an effective public transport system, this conversation will not come up at all. But because we don't have that, people really will need the cars.
Yeah, we need the cars. It's good when you have a new car. But
yes, but if you cannot afford it, people are struggling to pay rent. As for new car, it is not a priority of most people in this republic. It is a luxury for your kind.
Let's continue.
Dry bones are mentioned in the proverb. Now let me move on to the daily graphic. It is reporting this morning, my good friend. Rush for school items shoots up prices. So the complaints we'll be having about the inflation of food prices and other commodities in the country just reached the turn of school items. Apparently, because kids are about to go to school, parents have been trying to get these items for them. And the market is responding in a very vigorous and capitalist manner, in a way that is depriving many who had little resources from the inflation already happening in food and other areas. So Chroma is, but it's being compounded here. And that, there's a wonderful story. Parents planning that the book for the kids will be costing a certain range, and this being twice or three times the amount when they get to the market, and causing a lot of commotion in the pockets of the ordinary people.
In my time when we were going to school, one of the things my mother did.
Yeah, this was in the 60s, right?
It was in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
One of the good things my mother did was that she knew the prospectus already, so she bought them over a period of time. So by the time I was going to school, everything had been bought.
Oh, that's prudent.
Yes, because if you go in wanting to buy everything at the time that results are out and everybody's going to school, I tell you, you'll be found wanting. Because the capitalist nature of the market is such that it will take advantage of that situation.
Maybe if we make the market socialist, it will work.
Well,
anyway, now one more story you should know. Parents commend education minister, asks for reporting date extension. There's one red alert. Ghana risk stone imports. So the chief executive officer of the Minerals Income and Investment Fund, Nana Yao Edward, has warned the country that we risk importing stones and chippings from neighboring countries.
how?
Well, that's interesting.
If rapid encroachment on quarry lands in the country are not stopped. So the lands for the quarry, they are being encroached at a rate that we've done this story before. Agbaba went to chase them around Wager and the other places related to that. And when there was a blast some time ago, a similar story was done. Apparently, people are building everywhere. District officers in charge of buildings, I'll be watching them build, and later on they'll go and tell them they cannot build there. They do bribe them. When they bribe them, they will leave them there. They are taking up all the land. So very soon, you will not only get a place to live. I think we have to find new building materials now, or plan for it, or think about it. We don't really think about things in this country, but we should plan at least for this one and make sure it doesn't happen.
On this quarry story, if you go to Kumasi Bohom, for instance, the same thing is happening. You have buildings.
There's an important Catholic effigy there.
Yeah, so you have buildings around the quarry, and it's quite worrying. So if the situation continues, as the report says, how are they going to expand the quarry business so that we'll be able to build our houses and all that?
One of the things I've talked about before, and I'm going to say it, I know this is a very controversial issue, but I've said that, look, one of the greatest disservices our military regimes did to this country was their inability to give all lands to the states.
Some even date it back to Nkrumah's time.
Yes, we should have done that. So that if you want to go and build, the state gives land to developers, tax to do the right thing. Failure,
and plan it properly.
And plan it properly. Today, everybody somewhere gets some land somewhere and is building. By the time you write stop work, the land is finished. Look, people stay in the night and build here in Accra.
Yeah.
Because they see, as for Ghana land here, if you don't build immediately, someone will come for the land.
People build in waterways.
Yeah.
It causes, what they call it, flooding. Then they'll call on all of us. In fact, the flooding is extended, people are built on the right place. The irresponsible ones then call on the state to come and rescue them in their flooded areas.
Anyway,
we'll come back to these issues.
Anyway, I have the Ghanaian Times with me. Local government minister taxes MMDAs to enact workable bylaws for citizens to obey. It's on page 17. 5 jailed, 70 years for causing harm to retired driver. Major boost for public transport sector as government introduces battery gas-powered buses, and that is on page 16. So the government is set to introduce the first ever battery-powered electric and gas-powered buses for the purposes of public transport in the country. That's what the Deputy Minister of Transport, Mr. Frederick Obeng Adam, has announced. According to him, this formed part of a number of interventions that will set the tone for the gradual decarbonization of the road transport sector. So that's quite some good news. But Ramadan has started. We greet our Muslim brothers and sisters. The fasting has already started. The Muslims begin annual fasting. Page 17 comes with a story from the Muslim community, and most Ghanaians began the annual fasting.
And you know that I take part in the annual fasting.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you need it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I take part every year.
For very good health.
I do half
reasons.
day.
Yeah,
I
see.
do half day.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm unable to eat at dawn. So I do half day.
Okay. Anyway, there's another worrying story here. 346,120 Ghanaians infected with HIV. Ghana AIDS Commission. So a total of 346,120 Ghanaians have been infected with HIV, the virus that causes AIDS, with 66% being females, whilst the rest are males. the Ghana AIDS Commission has disclosed. So speaking at a media engagement program organized by the Christian Health Association of Ghana on Friday, the senior program manager for HIV, TB Community System Strengthening, Benjamin Chebu, noted that females were topping the chart of persons living with HIV/AIDS in the country. And the reason is simple. You know, our women, they do checkups than women. So the more they do checkups, the more you get to know your status and all
But
that.
if they do the
What's the basis of this?
If
Your
they do
claim
the-
So that's
women
what the
do
AIDS
more
Commission
checkup?
is saying. They say that more women,
Check for
Yeah.
HIV/AIDS.
yeah, they'll go for.
They do
I
the
mean,
test.
They do
Yeah,
tests.
because-
Sometimes they go for comprehensive
well,
tests. So
well, a lot of the
they-
times too,
yeah.
when pregnant women are going as part of the test they run. But if you're pregnant and you run the test and you are positive, they'll look for your husband.
To be fair, if all men, women, and we know that this is 80% or more caused by what they call sexual intercourse. If all men or women are faithful in their relationships and their marriages, they stop side chickism. They stop all of the ungodly engagements that they have aligned in different forms. They stop the hookups and the illegal prostitution they've been doing. If we stop, why are you laughing? It's a very important call. It's a national health disaster.
No, I saw a
about.
story somewhere that
Yeah.
the Speaker of Parliament says that he doesn't have a side chick. So when you were talking about side chickism and all that,
If they stop these things, we will reduce the numbers.
Let me get to the Daily Statesman. I agree with you.
You agree with me?
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree with you. The
entirely.
Daily
Oh, I
Statesman
agree with you. I agree.
Yeah.
says huge growth opportunities exist. Government urges investors to take full advantage of Wasia UAB gets modding JHS block. I've talked about that already. Now, nukes. President and secretary clash over election. This is something you know a lot about, Raymond.
Why is it you know a lot about?
Because I'm sure a lot of these happened in your time. In my time, and I'm just picturing Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa.
Yeah.
During
And the illegal attempt to remove him.
during the Nukes election of 2006.
Yes.
Walking around. It starts from the USAG election of 2006, at the time when he was purported to have been impeached. And, walking around. But he comes there as Nukes president.
Yes.
Yes, I was there at the time. I was a delegate. We're going to vote.
He is still my president.
So this is the problem with the Nukes election. Now, two presidents have emerged after the election. According to votes declared by the Electoral Commission, the winner of the election is Dennis Apia Labi Ampofu. But Kwesi Etuahene, even before the results will be declared, had flyers out, president-elect, and he was being congratulated.
He prepared his
on
own
social media.
It tells me a story. There was this gentleman who had done T-shirts congratulating himself, and he lost the election.
Maybe he was in the comfortable lane. So in the case of
anyway.
Atuahene.
Well, so this morning we'll come back to this particular issue because it looks like the periods of two presidents, which Nuke said, okay, we're going to work on it and get one president. In our time, we didn't have two presidents, but it's looking like the student front is divided currently, and the student front is collapsing. We'll come back to all of these, and we'll expand the conversation. We'll talk about other civil society organizations. It looks like not much is being heard of them. But let's get to our online news review brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest, Goil Good Energy. So Goil, your oil marketing company of choice, keeps making life so convenient for you. Goil now accept Momo for all fuel purchase at key selected stations. Just Momo to Goil. Just remember to Momo it at Goil. And that's not all. You can also use your bank card to buy fuel at Goil, and this is made possible by APSA. Drive to Goil stations now, buy your fuel, pay by Momo or a bank card, and you're good to go. Visit Goil social media platforms as Facebook, Goil.official, Instagram, Goil_GH, and Twitter on Goil_official for more information on the service stations you can conveniently use Momo. Goil Good Energy, Goil Ya Yedim. And my Joy Online says Muslims commends Ramadan. That's the main story there. Will intensify public education on e-levy to address panic withdrawals. So lots of panic withdrawals over the weekend. Let's get to citynewsroom.com and find out stories that are making news on citynewsroom.com this morning. We'll tell you more about what's happening on citynewsroom.com and the BBC website shortly. But time now for the BBC News, brought to us by Fidelity Bank, Believe With Us, and Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
Hey, Evokoku, what brings you to my house this early morning? I hope all is well.
All is never well with me, Nikbabo. After paying 3 times for the land for my project, the construction workers are now giving me wahala. From material overestimation to small stealing. I am tired.
I told you so, Evokoku.
It's all because you are trying to become builders when you're corporate workers and business people. Edlon has products tailored to meet your needs. Villas 3 at Amrahia, where there are finished homes. Conveniente, also at Amrahia.